This is a PinGame Journal Pinball production.
Hi, my name is Kelly Corcoran. I built this custom pinball machine totally myself. This person here, this is Maddie. She is my backglass artist.
I started with actual sketches in my sketchbook, and then I used Inkscape and a Wacom tablet afterwards, after I had re-sketched it out.
So once we had that, we had a sign shop printed up, and that was Myers Signs in Escanaba, Michigan. They helped me out immensely with this project. They also printed my playfield, which is 1/16 inch polycarbonate, reverse printed and put on top of a piece of wood, kind of like a hard top. This is 2 years in development right here. I actually got the idea from a few years ago at the Midwest Gaming Classic, this very same show. I saw a few custom games and I'm like, you know what? I gotta do this. Undertale is a video game from 2015 written by Toby Fox. It was immensely popular. I've been walking through here and a number of people have been like, Undertale!
Yeah.
Most of these things, there's a lot of standard parts here. Standard flippers, they're WPC 90s. Pretty much anything you see that you can directly recognize from another game. The bumpers, the flashers, you know, all came from a combination of Pinball Life and Marco. But all the custom stuff, that'll be the light shields, the wire forms, the ramps, that was all custom made. Some of it was done using laser cutting, and the wire rails were a welding project with me and my dad. I just came up with my design and we got them put together. All of the chrome plating and the powder coating was done by pinballplating.com. They did a brilliant job of that. So, the electronics for this game are pretty much completely custom. Originally, I was just trying to make it work, and the entire thing was a massive mess of wires all over the place. And it was not very reliable. There was interference problems, there was all kinds of stuff. And 4.5 months ago, I decided, you know what? I can't bring this thing to the show the way it is. It's not going to run right. And I took a deep breath, and I ripped all the wire out of the game, and I redid the whole thing from scratch. So when I redid the wiring, I tried to make sure that everything was going to be nice and orderly. So I made sure all the cables were run right here. I made sure everything had its own proper ground. And as a general rule, I think it turned out the playfield was a huge mess to begin with. So I made sure everything was neat and tidy the second time around. This right here is my power supply for my solenoids. It's a 50-volt power supply from Antec. And then here is a 6 and 12 volt. The 12 volt rectifies into 18 for the lamp matrix. And then over here is a solid state relay that turns this stuff on. And that's hooked up directly to the 5 volt on the computer. So once I turn the computer on with the push button switch, everything else comes on at the same time. But this is your basically your standard System 11 insert panel here. The GI is all AC, 6 volts, driven by this relay. But here are my controller boards, which are all custom. The top one here is for lights. Now this is a Teensy 3.5. This is for the switches and the solenoids. And then down here we have 2 solenoid driver boards, each of them capable of doing 8 coils. That pretty much covers that.
The wiring itself, it was a mess when you first did it.
Right. So the rules, if you think of games like Twilight Zone, Adam's Family, you got your door panels, your mansion rooms. Well, in Undertale you have bosses to fight, and they are basically the same way. Each one is kind of a little mini game, and in order to light them up, to collect them, you're going to want to hit the monster targets. There are 7 of them scattered around, and if you don't want to hit all the targets, every major shot, the scoops, the rams, everything, will spawn the next one. It is very hard just to hit the target and spot them. target left, it's going to spot the target, light it up, and then collect it. So you only have to get 6 targets, technically. Oh, I could miss. I could just miss the shot. That would work too. There we go. And we've started a boss fight. Okay, ball number 2. What am I going to do? I'm going to hit some switches up there and see if I can get a nice payoff bonus on this scoop right here. Hey, skill shot! I've noticed it's very rare for people to get 2 or more skill shots in the game. Usually you just get lucky once. So there's 2 subways in the game. One leads from this scoop down to here, and one leads from Grilby across there into Waterfall. And then this passage right here just kind of vampire taps into it, so they both come out there. Time for some multi-ball. And this mode, basically, it lights up shots at random, and you have roughly 15 seconds to hit them. And if you do, you get a little points bonus. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. I dodged the spear. And they keep relighting, so you can always go back and hit more. And that's going to keep happening. I got it in the vertical up kicker saucer hole. I can't believe I managed that. Okay, so you've seen multi-ball. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, if you want to get pinball back, that's fine too. I think that pretty much covers the rules for now. As a general rule, I think it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, and it was even difficult putting some of the pieces in here because you got these big, like, backdrop pieces, you know?
Yes, what she's saying is basically, I didn't do quite good enough trying to plan these things out, and nothing fit properly until I modified it.